Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Meckens. Okay, so we have been working on summarizing author ideas. Now, we talked about this idea if you want to retell a little chunk of something the author said, then you want to paraphrase it. And we've been working on that, and we've kind of set that to the side. The last two lessons, we worked only with literature, stories, and we worked on summarizing it and then whittling it all the way down to a single sentence main idea. Okay. I want to do the same thing. Now I want to do it with informational text. It's going to take us a couple lessons. And I'm going to tell you right now, the reason we start with literature is because it's easier. Literature always has the same ingredients. So when I say, what's the most important information in the story? Boom, it's your story elements. And they go in order. How hard is that? Okay, that's not the case for nonfiction. Informational text, whether you're reading an essay or an article, your science book, your social studies book, whether you're reading a speech, it doesn't matter. If it's informational, it doesn't have somebody wanted, but so you're not going to find that. You're just going to find a lot of facts and information coming at you, and it's like, and then you have to be able to summarize it. How? The secret to summarizing informational text is the idea of learning how to group related information. If you can group the little details all sprinkled throughout the text, and you can find a grouping of similar information and a grouping of similar information and a grouping of similar information, it's going to be much easier to then whittle it down to a summary. We used the sequence approach, and somebody wanted but so then when we read literature. And we started with it because it's easier. Now we're going to make this a little harder. And you got to be able to summarize any kind of text, including nonfiction. And so now I want to introduce a totally different way to take a step or two closer to summarizing informational text. Okay? And in this lesson, I'm going to teach you 2 steps. By the end, you will not know how to summarize a whole text. We won't be there yet. We're getting closer. But we are going to learn how to summarize a chunk of informational text. Because if you can do a chunk of it, then you'll be ready to summarize the whole thing. So we're just going to do some baby steps. Okay, so I'm going to show you this resource. It's a web. You've seen it before. And you don't actually have to use this resource, but I need you to think like this because you see groups, right? You see groupings. Okay, this is the vision for reading informational text, collecting the information, the details, and being able to put out an organized, highlights only, most important information only summary. Because what you read in nonfiction text is going to be a lot of little details. And if you look at your screen, you'll see a large version of just one of these ovals. And do you see how I have the word detail, detail, detail? Obviously, this is a pretend, okay, but detail, detail, detail. You see why it's in green? These are details that came from the actual text. My reading voice said them. The author wrote them. I'm just collecting them into this oval. Do you see how I'm using bullets? Because I'm not writing sentences. It's keywords, it's phrases, it's text message spelling, it's abbreviations. Come on, be fast about it. It's notes. But more importantly than how you write it, it's where you write it. When you're collecting information, you're looking to build a group of information because then you're going to write a sentence about each grouping. That each chunk, that's how you're going to get closer to summarizing the whole thing. Summarize this chunk into a sentence. 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 I'm going to add to our chart up here this oval, set of ovals, this webbish thing, okay? Obviously, it's just a graphic representation of what we're talking about. But when you're reading informational text and you take notes, I want you to take notes on related information. And if you put it together, you'll be able to more quickly, more easily, more efficiently generate a summary sentence for that grouping. Just for that grouping, you get a sentence. I'm not talking about a sentence for the whole thing. No. That's main idea. That is not this lesson. We're not ready for that. I just want you to summarize this group and then summarize this group and summarize this group. Let me add another element to our chart. So each oval of details you collect from the text, reading details, will turn into a single sentence. Each oval, each grouping of information that you collect, our goal is to be able to whittle it down. Okay, let me show you on my screen here a passage. Okay, this is all about online posting. Okay, and so the notion would be that you could summarize this text. Yeah, that you could say, remember what a summary is. It's not one sentence. No, that's the main idea. Summary is just a handful of sentences, though. It's significantly shorter. It's ESPN Sports Center. Okay, if this is the ball game, you have to be able to give me the Sports Center version of this. Couple sentences, 3-4 sentences, wrap this up. How do you do that? Well, when the author gives you subheads, take advantage of them. Authors don't always give you subheads, but in this lesson, we're going to first start with easier informational text, and that means it comes with subheads. This is what I mean by subheads. See these bold? Okay, 1, 2, 3. We have 5 bold subheads. Here's what the author is doing for you. He's saying, hey, reader, I've grouped these paragraphs under this subhead and these paragraphs under this subhead and these. In other words, you should be able to write a single sentence summary of what all of number 1 is about. One sentence about one chunk, one subhead. That's the power of subheads. It actually helps you not only read and comprehend, but also write a summary. You should be able to write one sentence summarizing all of what's under subhead 2. Yeah, we should be able to do this. I want to teach you how to do it. Okay, we're not summarizing whole text, we're summarizing chunks. And if you get text features like subheads, we have got to take advantage of them. All right, so I'm going to do chunk by chunk, so I'm not going to use this. All right, it's a little overwhelming, plus we're only going to look at one chunk at a time. So let me switch to my extra large oval here. Okay, grab my marker and show you how I can collect information to then turn it into a single sentence summary. All right, so let me advance here. I just took one of the chunks. I think this is actually the second subhead. It's a little longer. I'll do the harder one. All right. Okay, so now I read the subhead. Do employers and colleges actually look at this stuff? Meaning your online posts. Okay. All right, so now when you get a subhead, you want to put it as your label. Not the whole sentence. It's notes, just keywords. All right. So I see employers and I see colleges. Abbreviations. As long as you understand, we're good. All right. So now, anything I read in this section about employers or colleges, I want to take notes on. If my reading voice says it, I want to take notes on it because the author's telling me, I'm going to tell you about this information. You should be able to summarize it in one sentence. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to read and think, and while I'm thinking, I'll jot some notes. All right, college admissions officers and employers want to learn about you. Okay, I'm just going to stop. Okay, employers, college, yeah, I didn't pick up anything new. I already know that. Okay, and they're very likely to look at your social media posts. Well, this whole thing's about posts. So I don't have any specific details to just employers and colleges regarding my posts. So I'm not writing anything yet. This is just an opening sentence. The job site Career Builder performed a social media survey in 2017. It showed that more employers than ever are searching social media accounts of people who apply for jobs. Okay, that sentence mentioned the word employers. Let's see if we learned a specific detail about employers in our posts. More employers than ever are searching accounts of people who apply for jobs. Employers are searching based on people applying for jobs. Okay, so I'm going to write the word employers down. Okay, this whole pie piece is going to be about anything that I find out about what employers are doing with our online posts. And so it said searching. So I'm going to jot down searching. That's what it said they are doing. They're searching accounts of people who apply for jobs. So you can write down people who apply for jobs, or you could write an abbreviated version, or I'm just going to write applicants, which I know are people applying for jobs. Okay. All right. The survey found that 600% more employers use social media to screen people than they did in 2006. Now, some of you think we should be writing down 600% and this in 2006. Wait a minute. Remember what our goal is. Our goal is to give just the most important information from this section. All those little details, that's way more of a retell. No. I don't need all those little numbers. That's not my focus. I'm just trying to get the most important information about employers and colleges. So, what did I learn about employers in the first bullet? That they're screening people. So, I'm going to jot down screen people. Got it. 70% of employers use social media sites to learn more about people. Learn more about people. All right. Got it. 34% of employers found bad information online about people who work for them. Oh, so they're looking for bad information. Remember, this is all, Ms. Meckens, why are you writing it all in the same one? Because it's all about what the employers are doing. All of the details that go with this pie piece stay here. If I get something about colleges, I'll put it somewhere else. Or if they mention something not about employers, not about colleges, but something else, I'll put it here. But right now, I got to keep it all tightened together. All right, let me keep going. Bad information about people who work for them. This information causes them to scold or even fire. Oh my goodness, bad information. They get scolded. They might even get fired. All right, yeah, I'm dipping out of it. Who cares? It's notes. All right, it doesn't have to be neat and clean. It's not a worksheet. All right, let me jump to the last paragraph of this section. This is common at colleges too. Okay, I know I'm about to read about colleges now, so I'm going to get colleges is a different pie piece. It's in the same grouping, the same subhead, but a different pie piece. Let's see what we find out. Kaplan Test Prep surveyed over 350 college admissions officers. It found that 35% have looked up applicants. So they're also looking up applicants. I'm just abbreviating here on social media. Many said social media affects their admissions. Okay, so what are we learning about colleges? That it affects their decisions on whether or not they want you or not. And I'm done. The section is done. I've run out. The next subhead begins. So I'm done collecting my notes in preparation to summarize this section. All right, that's all I did was I didn't summarize the section. I collected notes to prepare to summarize for the section. All right, but I left this blank. Yeah, because they didn't give me any more. I don't have any more details. But aren't you supposed to fill it out? Not if they don't give me anything. You guys, it's not a worksheet. If they only give you 2 facets for the group, fine. If they give you 4, split the pie and put some here and put some here. But they only gave me 2, so that's it. I'm good. We're done with part 1. Now I need to show you how to take this and turn it into a sentence. Because remember, in order to summarize a full article, you got to be able to summarize chunks of it, groups of it. Well, the subhead is a group. I have a grouping built into this article. I want to show you now how I take all that and turn it into a sentence. Okay? And I'm going to do it by reminding you that each grouping, each oval of reading voice details should turn into one sentence. So this oval that I just did is going to turn into one sentence. I'm going to summarize what all of that on your screen, that whole subhead said. I'm going to summarize it in one sentence, okay? And so the idea here would be to use the label and the details. What's the label? This was the label, the subhead label, the category label. In the first couple words of my sentence, I want to use these words, employers, colleges, something like that, okay? And it's all about online posts, okay? But we also learned about how employers are using the information and how colleges are using the information. So when I say it's the label plus details, I need to have this in the sentence. I have to represent this, and I have to represent this. Each pie piece has to be represented in the sentence. Okay, so just listen to how I do this. I'm going to just start with the label. I'm going to start with employers and colleges. Okay, Now, if I start with employers, they're searching applicants, screening, learning, but so were colleges. They're looking up. Employers and colleges search applicants online. Okay, good. Wait, we're not done because they do more than just search. What else do we know? They search and they might do what? They might hire them, but they might, if it's bad information, scold them, fire them, not choose them. And I need to say that. That's more specific as to what this chunk of paragraphs was about. Employers and colleges, they do more than just search applicants online, and they use this information to scold, fire, and or select individuals. Okay, now let's make sure it makes sense. Employers and colleges search applicants online. Let's be more specific, where they're looking at their social media. Search applicants online via their social media accounts. Got it. And use the info to possibly scold or fire and or select individuals. Boom! Just did it. I just took the grouping of information I gathered with my reading voice, and then I want to kind of represent this information, but all in one sentence. Help me with the next one. All right, we're going to go back to the big article here. All right, and how about you help me with, let's do number one. It's shorter. Let's do number one together. All right, I got it larger right here. All right, I need a new oval. Why? Because I have a whole new grouping now. All right, that's why, I'm using these extra large ovals, but that's why we have something like this, because each subhead is its own oval. Title goes in the middle, all right? And if there are 5 subheads, which this article has, well, then just draw another oval, pie pieces, you're good, all right? It's not a worksheet, you don't have to fill it out. All right, but helping me with this one, what do I need to do first when I'm taking these notes? What do I need to do first? Up here, what do I need to do? Jot down the category, the label, and where do I find it? In the subhead. So the subhead says social media posts disappear, right? Let's say that in a couple words. What do we got? Okay, posts disappear. Okay, you can put a question like, do they? Posts disappear? Question. Okay, fine, good. All right, so now anything we learn about posts and whether they do or don't disappear, it's got to go here. All right, because it's telling us that's what we're writing about. So you collect those reading voice details that support it. All right, you tell me and I'll jot it down. All right, so here we go. Let's be clear about one thing. You've been building your online presence since your first Snapchat. Okay, so posts, online presence, that goes together. That's keywords. I want to write that down. All right, Snapchat, you want to write that? Okay, so since your first snap, got it. All right, think the posts disappear. All right, posts, got it. Okay, think they disappear. Think private pages are private. Think again. Okay, posts, private. Okay, got it. I've got some keywords here, and it's all just in general about posts. Okay, let's keep going. Next paragraph. You might feel like your life and opinions are no one's business. All right, so my life, my opinions, my business. Okay. Well, why are you writing it over there? Because this was in general about posting. This is about my posting, specific posting, my thoughts, feelings, opinions, my life. Do you see how it's different? It all goes with this bigger category, but it's a facet, it's a supplement, so it goes over here. Okay, this was about in general. This is about personal. All right, let's keep going. But you can't always control who sees what you post. Stop. This is about online presence in general. This is about me, my posts, my life, my opinion. Look at that sentence. But you can't control who sees what you post. Is that about me? It's about others. All right. New pie piece, people. New pie piece. So can't control, okay, what others see. Bullets. Just use bullets. Can't control what they see. Okay, next sentence. Everything you post could be saved by your friends. Okay, so the friends, that's not me, and that's not in general. Okay, you can't control what your friends see. Okay, and it said saved by your friends, in parentheses, or people who aren't your friends. Ooh, not friends, frenemies. Got it. So this is about others. This is about my thoughts. This is about in general, but it's all posts. See how we're doing this? All right. You might make a public post that you think is private, public. Okay. That's in general. Okay. Or you might post to the wrong account. That's in general. Okay. This is about others. How easy is it to find something you believe is hidden? Easier than you might think. That's more rhetorical. We don't need to write any of that down. All right, you guys, we've done the first of 2 steps. We have collected information in a group, a subhead, got it. Now we got to work to generate all of this into one sentence. One sentence. All right, that oval, that grouping is going to become a single sentence summary. If you can't summarize this chunk into one sentence, there's no way you could summarize the whole article. So we're working with chunks. That's what we're doing. All right, just chunks for now. All right, so do you remember what needs to be in this sentence? The first thing you usually lead with will be the label, the category or grouping label. So we have post, disappear, disappearing posts, something about posts and their appearance. Okay. All right. Then we need to have a couple words in the one sentence that talks about our online presence. Okay. And the idea that it's not always private or public or what. We've got to talk about our opinions in our online posts. And we have to talk about things we can't control, okay? People seeing, saving, those kinds of things. All right, so I'll start us, okay? I'm going to start, again, I'm going to use the label. I'm just going to start with this. Posts don't disappear because, I would write that out, but we're doing this fast. Because, okay, because why? Let's start here. You don't have to mention all of this, just because you can't control what people see and save. Because you can't control what people see and save. Whoa, don't put your period yet. Okay? You've only talked about this and the category. You had a whole lot about this online presence, online stuff, and then you had about personal. How are we going to work those in? You got to reference each pie piece in your one sentence. You don't have to use all those words, but you have to reference it. You have to somehow refer to it. Posts don't disappear because you can't control what people see and save about your life. Good. About your life or your opinions. Okay. About your life, about your business. Good. Okay. We've done both of these. About your life or your business. Okay. You can't control what people see and save about your life. Where? That you post online, that you present online, that you put out there online, all those would work great. Posts don't disappear because you can't always control what people see and save about your life that you post online or that you present online. Yeah, you just did it. You see what we're doing in this lesson? We are working really hard to take nonfiction information, which doesn't have an automatic pattern. And we're looking to just see grouped details and summarize that group in one sentence. It's hard. It's hard work. But I think that oval is helpful. Put the category, put the key details, and then use that to generate a sentence. I think it's too hard right now if you would read this whole passage or this whole section and try to write one sentence. I think by breaking it into groupings, you give yourself that baby step to help you along the way. So we're going to keep doing that. If you were in Mrs. Smecken's class right now, then you would take subhead 3, subhead in section 4, subhead in section 5. There are 3 more remaining. We've done the first 2. And I would want you to take an oval, or you can do it with scratch paper. I want you to give me the category based on the subhead. I want you to collect the details in small little groupings, and I want you to generate a single sentence summary for that subhead. Then I want you to do the next one, and then I want you to do the next one. So I don't really care about your details, but your details help you get to the goal of a single sentence summary. So again, you're only writing, really, in the end, 3 sentences, a summary sentence for subhead 3, 4, and 5. If you were in Mrs. Smecken's class, that's what we'd be doing, but your teacher might have a better idea.